Hi guys, I'm Coach Christopher John and I'm here with Coach Kristy Canterbury. Tonight we're here to share with you a pretty amazing approach to building a real estate career. We call it customized real estate.
We are the founders of a coaching process called Total Success Coaching, and we use that process to completely design a way to do real estate that is custom to every agent, team leader, or broker that we work with. Most realtors are underachieving or even failing because they're using an approach that doesn't fit who they are. It doesn't fit their strengths, their skill set, their comfort zone, or even their passions.
Yeah, sort of like trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. There's a lot of forcing yourself to do what you think you have to do. But if your process is built to fit your most powerful qualities, abilities, and desires, it's amazing how much you can accomplish and how easy it is to just level up your business.
So, this evening, we're going to share with you the complete process of building your own customized total success program. And we're sharing it because we've just seen so many people trying to do things somebody else's way. And this industry can be extremely difficult to try to do that. The frustration level is very high.
Yes, it is. And I'm going to share a quick example that a lot of realtors can relate to. So for confidentiality, I'm going to use false names. So I'm going to call this guy Mark. So Mark had a 9-to-5 job in corporate America. He didn't like his job. He didn't like his schedule, and he didn't like his pay. So one day a broker came to him and he said, you'd be a great realtor. And guess what? You can have total control over your schedule. The work is easy. It's fun. And you know what? If you work hard, there's no limit to how much money you can make. He gave him the whole song and dance, and I'm sure we've all heard that pitch before. And Mark saw dollar signs. So he made the choice to get his license, and he became a realtor. But as you know, it's not that easy and fun when you're struggling, especially when you're starting out. So understand that office trained two things: cold calling leads that were paid for and farming a neighborhood. But cold calling made Mark really uncomfortable, and a lot of us feel that way. So he didn't want to do it, and quite frankly, he never got good at it. And he gave up on farming after like the third month because he couldn't afford to keep investing into the farming. So he didn't get any listings for over a year. And the few buyers that he had came from friends and family. And then there was nothing. And I'm sure a lot of us can relate. Mark wanted to work hard, but he had no confidence in his approach, and he didn't know what else to try. He didn't make enough money, and eventually he just gave up and quit.
Chris, unfortunately, that is a true story. Statistics show that a lot of agents quit in the first year or two, mostly in the first year. It's not because they can't be successful in real estate. It's because they're trying to be successful in a process that doesn't fit their style or their goals. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it really does make sense, Kristy. This is actually what we don't like about the coaching industry too, because most real estate coaches, they don't customize because they aren't actually professional coaches. That's not their background. Most of the time, they're just successful agents or brokers who go around trying to teach people what they did to be successful. They sell and they teach their program.
Well, as you know, I've been in the business over 30 years, and so I've learned a lot and made a ton of mistakes. And I remember, Chris, talking with a real estate coach a while back, and I was told, hey, people that are successful in this business are bulldogs. They're not afraid to pound the phones. And I started thinking about all of the people that this coach had said this to over the years. And these people wanted to give up because it just wasn't their personality type. I have seen all kinds of agents become successful in this business. Some did it by building strategic relationships, which is super important. Others were successful because they mastered maybe the open house process, or maybe by becoming an expert in using social media. Maybe they worked their sphere of influence, and maybe they built this huge database. But none of them pounded the phones in an office all day long the way this coach talked about.
Yeah, there are so many ways to be successful in real estate, but there's only one most effective way for you. So tonight, we're going to take you through the complete process of discovering and building yours. But let's start with some introductions. Let me first introduce you to Coach Kristy. So Kristy is an exceptional and amazing realtor and leader. She's personally sold 100 plus homes per year for well over a decade. She leads one of the top real estate teams in the state of Michigan, and if you met her, you would understand why. She's been mentored by some of the top minds in the industry, and she's really passionate about coaching and mentoring. Kristy, I'm going to let you just share a little bit about why you do what you do here.
Thanks, Chris. That was really nice of you to say those things about me. I'm really just an average person who graduated from high school and didn't know what I wanted to do in life. But I've been coached along the way. My parents were teachers. My brother's a teacher, so I have the gift of teaching. And so I believe in giving back. People have helped me along the way, so my job is to help them. The main reason why I love coaching people is because I can bring out the best in them, and I can help them find like their drive and their talent and that they never even knew that they had. So if I look at it this way, Chris, if I share my training and what I've learned over the past 30 plus years with someone and they learn from it and they pass it along to 5 people and the next person passes it along to 5 people, it's just how the world can get better one person at a time, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's such a powerful, drive that you have to make that impact. And I'm super glad that, we've partnered up to join forces.
Now it's my turn. I get to introduce you, Chris. And I met Chris a few years ago, and we basically kept in touch, but never knew we'd end up coaching together. He is a master business performance, mindset, and empowerment coach. So he gets into the mental side of the business, which is what we lack as realtors a lot of the time. So he is a graduate of the world-renowned Accomplishment Coaching Training Program. Agents have increased their volume by tens of millions of dollars that have been coached by him. He also coaches and trains other elite-level coaches. What I've learned is you have to surround yourself with people that sharpen you. My favorite saying is iron sharpens iron. If you surround yourself with people that possess skills that make you better, that's what it's all about. You have to surround yourselves with people that have a different skill set than you, so together you can grow.
Well, thank you, Kristy, for all those kind words. It's really amazing when you can come together with another really high-end professional and put something together that changes lives. And so I'm so excited that we've been able to, forge this partnership and do some really cool work. Together we've actually, we have nearly 40 years of combined experience. And during that time, we've pretty much seen everything. It takes all that experience and all of our expertise to do what we do, because every person is unique and we have to know how to cover every base with all of them. So let's share that process with you right now.
So if you're in real estate and you're not finding enjoyment doing it, or if you're not finding enough success in it, or you're stuck at your current volume and need to find a way to get to that next level, that next plateau. If you feel like maybe you have to force yourself to do the work and force yourself to do what makes money, we want to be able to shed that whole process and exchange it for the one that brings the passion out of you.
Awesome. So when we talk about building a more successful real estate practice, the 3 things we really have to increase and maximize, and we hear this all the time from agents that come to us, one is time, one is money, and one is energy. For your real estate process to truly be a total success program, and that's what we're talking about, is building a total success program around you. And to do that, it has to give you more time. It has to. And obviously it has to give you more money. Otherwise you wouldn't be here right now. And the big one that gets overlooked is it has to give you energy. And there are a lot of things that influence your ability to make that happen that we can develop. For example, increasing confidence, gaining clarity, discovering some direction, being able to manage stress, building your communication, relationship building, life balance, being able to influence, having control over the whole system, and support, getting supported and bringing support. Doing that truly allows you to build the kind of success that we all desire.
It is so much more than just selling a house. So we're breaking down the structure that forms the foundation of our total success process. And at the core, there are 3 things we're always working to increase: the time, the money, and the energy. To do this, we are always bouncing between 2 aspects of work. There's the overall mental approach, then there's the physical approach, or the nuts and bolts of your real estate business.
Over the years, we've seen a lot of experts, and some of them are really good at real estate. They say it takes 10,000 hours to become an expert at anything. And there are some really high-level individuals out there in the world of real estate. Coach Kristy is a great example of that.
Okay, I can tell you, Chris, it took me well over 10,000 hours to even come close to being an expert in real estate. But what you have to understand is there's a difference between knowing real estate and having an expert mindset. The two go hand in hand, and most people that come into this business, they study real estate, real estate, real estate. And what they need to know is you have to have the mindset, because the mindset is actually the other half that helps you get and achieve and reach your goals.
So with that great introduction to the importance and the power of having strong mentality, I'm actually going to start talking about the mental approach. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time talking about the mental approach that it takes to build your custom real estate program. And then I'm going to have Kristy take over, and she's going to talk about more of the nuts and bolts of the real estate and sales. So let's get started with that. If you really break down success, it comes down to action. And there are two types of mental approaches to action that you can have. The first one is preparation or planning. And the second one is what I call power. So you have to have great preparation. You have to have a great plan. And then when you take that action, you have to do so with power. Unfortunately, one without the other just isn't enough, and nearly everyone focuses on just the plan and ignores the need to show up with power. But think about this for a moment. What's the most powerful action you've ever taken? You know, we've all had moments in our lives when we've had so much clarity and so much energy when we took an action. We were able to do things that were greater than we ever thought we could do. And when we were able to do that, a lot of the time, the results are absolutely life-changing. This all seems simple enough. Powerful people take powerful action, and consistent, powerful action generates consistent, powerful results. But it is actually more complicated than that. The first thing I need to share is there are 4 zones that make up your mentality: positive, negative, constructive, and destructive. And action can only happen in the constructive, or the blue zone here. We know that negative thoughts get in the way, and we know that destructive thoughts are even worse because they can sabotage our ability to win. So we're going to focus on the right side of the chart. When you have a good plan, one you believe in, you have positive thoughts about it. So you're here in the green zone. But just because you like something or want something or trust something, that doesn't mean you're going to do anything about it. A great example that I would use is cold calling expired listings. So the numbers show that if you call expired listing leads for 3 hours a day and do your proper follow-up and tracking, you'll be a high-performing agent and make a lot of money in real estate. A lot of people like that and want that, and you can trust the numbers because they don't lie. So when they're given that plan, of course, they're smack dab in the middle of the green zone. Of course they want that. But to actually take action and make those cold calls, a person has to get over this wall right here. And this wall is called resistance. See, if you feel uncomfortable making cold calls, or if you have a fear of rejection, or if you aren't confident with what you're saying, you're going to have resistance to it. And if you have enough resistance, you'll never get over that wall, and your action will be minimal, if any. Resistance directly cancels out energy. So if you want to take consistent, powerful action, you have to either up your energy or lower the resistance to it. The other thing I have to share is that we have 2 types of energy, and they're not equal. Look at this chart now. This has all the levels of personal power. We experience all of these things every day. So you see actions, emotions, thoughts, those inward feelings, and state of being is at the very, very top. And the higher you go on the chart, the more power you have. And all of the energy you will ever have comes from 2 of these levels. The first one right here is emotional energy. The emotional level is down here, second from the bottom. Now, most people think of emotional energy when they talk about motivation. But emotional energy is sporadic. It's inconsistent. It's draining. And if you rely on emotion too much, you either won't be consistent or it will burn you out. Here's how it works. When you feel emotion, you get a short burst of energy, but when it's over, your body has to recover. So you can see there's an equal amount of time when you have less than average energy. Now you can try to extend your energy by adding things like motivation or discipline or challenges or asking what's your why, but it always comes to an end. And the longer you force it, the harder and longer you crash. So now I want to change the game for you, because the other kind of energy is called spiritual energy. I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about energies like purpose, devotion, inspiration, things of that nature. These are energies you can feel, but they don't require any physical energy or emotion. And the thing that's so cool about this kind of energy is it's naturally consistent. Why? Because those energy already exist within you. They don't require you to get excited or rah-rah. So this is a list of spiritual energies. Anytime you feel these things, you're experiencing spiritual energy. You got acceptance, appreciation, confidence, conviction, curiosity. Think of times where you felt these things: desire, determination, devotion, faith, hope, inspiration. We've all been there. Intention, interest, intuition, passion, purpose, resolve, reverence, trust, will. These are energies that don't require emotion. These are energies that you just feel. They drive you. They keep you doing what you do. And here's the cool thing. If you access more and more spiritual energy, guess what happens? It just gets higher. Imagine how much consistent power you can show up with when you just access this kind of energy. So the question is, how do you access spiritual energy instead of emotional energy? Because you're out here doing the work and you have to have the energy. And the answer is you have to actually focus on the experiences you want, not the outcomes you want. So let's do that. This is a list of 85 experiences that humans desire to have. Just take a few seconds to scan this list. And I want you to just pick out 3 that really stand out to you. These are experiences that you're really committed to having yourself or bringing to your clients or colleagues or whomever while you're working. These are things you're committed to. And to really lock these commitments in, you can literally turn them into sentences. You can literally turn them into statements. It looks like this. These are 3 that I have. Number 1, I'm committed to collaborating with other experts because our shared expertise can make a much bigger impact. Now, clearly, you know I'm committed to that because here I am with Coach Kristy. Another one of my big commitments, the experiences that I'm truly committed to having or bringing with me into this life. I am committed to making complex ideas simple to understand so people can apply them effectively. That's what I do all day long, is take complex, complicated ideas and make them so simple that people can just engage them and make a difference in their life with them. And the third thing, I'm committed to making every aspect of my work enjoyable. I don't care how good you are at something. If you're not enjoying it, it is never worth it. And so that's something that's really important to me. So again, all these 3 things are just words that stood out to me on that page. I circled them and I turned them into sentences. I turned them into statements about me. And they really capture this energy that I have. I have so much energy around collaborating. I can't tell you how excited I am to work with Kristy. I'm so excited about being able to take an idea, simplify it, and giving someone an aha moment that moves their life forward. It's absolutely crazy for me. And making things enjoyable, I can't live without that. It's so important to me. So that's what these are all about, guys. When you can capture the experiences you desire to have, you completely access those spiritual energies and they stay with you.
Chris, that's an awesome exercise. And what I encourage every one of you to do is once you have your 3 sentences, take that piece of paper and laminate it and carry it with you wherever you go so it's always in front of you and always top of mind.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. I've actually had people put them on the refrigerator, take a picture of it and keep it in their phone as their screensaver. People have put them in their wallet, in their purse. They just, people have made T-shirts with these keywords. It's unbelievable the lengths that people will go to stay connected to that energy that allows them to operate so powerfully. So there's one other way to access spiritual energy, and it's called your core values. It's one thing to be committed to an experience. It's another thing to be committed to being the person you want to be. So I have a list here of a bunch of potential core values, and I'd like you to scan this list and take a look at what is it for you. If you could design the ideal version of yourself, what are some of the key values that you'd build yourself around? So I'm going to actually turn this now back to Kristy because she's done an amazing job of capturing her core values and applying them to the work that she does.
Thanks, Chris. It's funny we met just a few years ago because I actually did an exercise similar to this about, I'd say, 8 years ago. And I circled the words, and my assistant came into me that day, and I'll never forget it. And she says, "Do you know that everyone on the team circled the same 5 words? And they are the acronym for FAITH, for the word faith." And I went, wow, that's really crazy. So we developed our core values around that. So our core values are family and friendships. The people who matter most come first. We are authentic, so authenticity being real, genuine, not copied or fake. Integrity, super important, doing the right thing even when no one is watching. Truth, being sincere about everything that we do. And happiness, like Chris said, why are we doing this if we can't be happy? So positive outlook and contentment. So that is what our core values are based around. We have that everywhere in our office, and we even have it hanging on our wall.
So if you're listening and you heard the way Kristy just said that, you could tell just the way it was coming out of her mouth. She was so convicted around those values. They mean so much to her. When you have that much power behind a core value and you choose to show up that way, you're showing up with a lot of power. So this is really neat how you can access power simply by staying connected with the experiences you want, but even more importantly, staying connected with who you want to be.
Chris, you're correct. We even made little note cards, and every note card that we send out has our core values right on them. So people really like that. It's a little personal touch. The mental end is deep. You specialize in that, but it actually is where the magic lies. So thanks for giving us a look at the mindset that it takes to be successful in a more sustainable, bigger way in real estate. You now know what it looks like to access consistent energy, and you have some clarity about the things that give you specifically that energy. And you know that to access that energy, you have to eliminate the resistance that zaps it. That's the hardest thing to do. So that's where customizing your approach comes in. So let me try to explain this. In order to build a customized total success program for your real estate practice, not mine, yours, there are two things that have to be built. Number one, your system for doing real estate. And number two, your process for executing that system. Remember those words, system and process. First, let's focus on the system. To build a system that fits you, eliminates resistance, and gives you access to all your power, you have to have a lot of clarity about three things. Your expertise. You know what to do, how to do it, and why you're doing it. Second, your experience. You know exactly what it's supposed to look like, feel like, sound like, etc., because you've been through it before. It's natural, if that makes sense. And third, your desires. You know what you like, how you like it, and why you like it. When you have absolute clarity, you don't have to think about what you're doing all day. You just do it. You don't react and respond. You know exactly what to look for, exactly what to do with it. There's no wasted movements, and that's why there's so much power in clarity. So now let's dig into a little bit about building the system that generates sales for high-producing real estate agents. I want you to change your mindset. I don't want you to think of real estate as sales. I want you to focus on the relationship, the building of relationships one person at a time. The conversion rates are way higher when you do it this way, and the people that you build the relationships with refer you business. The bottom line, if you take care of people, the business comes.
So we call that one pillar of your system, right? We got to take your expertise. It means, what are you an expert at when it comes to building relationships? And then we got to combine that with your experience. You know, what experience have you had in relationship that allowed you to get it done? And then your desires. What do you desire to do to build relationships with people? You know, if you can tap into your expertise, your experience, and your desires, you can build your relationship building process in a custom way that fits you.
The next thing I want to talk about is once you build the relationship, that leads me into building and working a database. Oh, realtors hate that word database, but I'm telling you, it is your gold mine. It's like mining for gold. The tighter the database, or the more intimate the database, the better the results. And I've seen people with databases with 10,000 people in them. You cannot service 10,000 people. The smaller, the tighter the database, the stronger the results. So don't be afraid of your database, and don't let me scare you, because the key is doing it your way. When we put all the pieces together with the mindset and what your passions are, it all makes sense. If we put it together your way, the results will just soar through the roof.
Yeah, and I think the key is the word desire. You know, you have to do things in ways that you desire to do. I think about like this. You might have a result you want to have, and you really desire that result. But the journey to get to that result has to be at least as desirable as the result itself. So there are a lot of ways to manage to build and to work a database. And as long as you are doing it in a way that brings you happiness, that gets you excited, you're going to do it effectively. You're going to do it with power.
And you'll love what you do every day. That's the best part. So there is a basic formula, Chris, to develop or build your database. It's all about tracking your numbers and tracking your results. The more focused you can be on this, the better the result. It's not that hard to do. And most of us go, ooh, numbers, I hate numbers. But once you learn it and see how simple it is, you'll be able to control the level of business that you want in the hours that you want to do this business. So along with your database, you also have to understand that you must increase your knowledge base. I like to put it this way. You must become ridiculously obsessed with real estate. It's what you do. So everything you do, everything you study, everything you can learn, you need to get your hands on and become ridiculously obsessed with learning, and you need to learn at a high rate.
And again, this is your custom system. So how do you like to learn? What do you like to do? What situations do you like to put yourself in when you're learning new things? Do you like to learn with other people? Do you like to learn by yourself? Do you like to experience it yourself? Do you like to read about it? What is your method of learning?
Now, if the word database didn't scare you, we're going to talk about scheduling. Let's talk about managing a daily schedule. So this schedule has to reflect your process and what's important to you, and actually what will make you the most money in the shortest amount of time. I will tell you, the good realtors can afford to have a bad hour, but the great realtors cannot even afford to have a bad minute. So time blocking along with accountability is the key to really honing in on your system.
So my thought is, if I were to build the ultimate schedule, I would want to make sure that the things that I desire to do to build my real estate business, the things that I'm expert at, that I already feel comfortable with, the things I have experience with, those are the things that are going to be the priority on my schedule. So when I build a schedule, I'm going to put the priorities on first.
That's right, Chris. And a lot of people don't understand that you don't have to cold call for 4 hours a day. If your priorities are that you love golf, then you can make golf your number one priority by attending functions at the local golf club, by meeting people who golf, by going on golf outings, and then turn that into business and building relationships and getting them into your database. So as we keep saying, the real magic happens when you spend time doing what you love. All you have to do is work relentlessly, or like I said, become ridiculously obsessed with the 4 pillars or the process, but do it your way.
Yeah, this is really amazing. So the first one, relationship building. Again, there are a lot of ways to build professional relationships that produce. You have to look at what kinds of relationships or what aspect of relationship building am I expert at? Maybe you're a giver and you're really good at nurturing people. Maybe you're good at being a resource or providing good ideas. Maybe you're good at relating or connecting with people and they feel like they've known you forever after your first conversation. Everyone's different. You have to reflect on where's your expertise. Next is experience. You have to really understand where your experience lies in relationship building. Think about your best relationships. What did you do that made them so great? What do you already know you're comfortable doing to build relationships? And then, of course, there's desire. You've got to look at desire. What are your favorite things to do with people? What do you like to do that builds strong, connected relationships? Remember, desire is a spiritual energy. So when you get clear on what you desire to do, you're going to have a lot of power. So go through all 3 of these for the other pillars, and you will have a complete structure or plan for your total success system.
So Chris and I want to share with you the simple formula for building your total success real estate program. Step 1 is to clarify your expertise, experience, and desires. You then use that to build your customized total success system for you. And that's the 4 pillars that we talked about.
So step 3, we're going to go right back into mindset because now we're talking about your process. So you need to determine your most powerful commitments and, of course, your core values. And then step 4, you're going to use that to build your process of execution. You're going to execute your system your way.
So Chris and I are here speaking to you today to show you that there is a better way to do things that can get you out of this rat race and start doing real estate in a way that fits your strengths, your passions, and your life. I'm excited for all of you who are here with us live this evening or who are watching this webinar replay, because we just broke down everything it takes to start building and taking charge of your real estate career and truly making it work for you and also making it fun.
I know that was a lot to take in, and we have a lot of questions in our queue. So what we decided is, instead of making everyone wait while we wait through question after question, we're actually going to dedicate some real time to speak with you individually. So what we're going to do is we're going to allow you to sign up for a complimentary, no charge meeting with us. It'll last up to 30 minutes depending on your needs. We'll answer all of your questions. We'll take some time to look at your business with you through the eyes of a coach and really make sure you have a feel for what it takes to build your own customized total success real estate program. And of course, if you're interested in working with us and having us build your program for you, we'll talk about what that looks like as well. You can schedule your meeting with us at the link below the video.
Obviously, a lot of you joined us tonight because you're looking for a professional real estate coaching firm. So for those of you that may be interested, we can talk to you a little bit about that now, but also you can go to the link at the bottom of the page, schedule your meeting with us, and that will give us the time we need to really get to know you and answer your specific questions completely.
All right, so first of all, for those of you who make the strategic investment to work with us, the advantage is that you don't have to figure out all the details of building your custom real estate system. We make it really easy, obviously, to go through every step of the process. I'll bring to you my thousands of hours of experience and expertise in coaching the mental game so you get really clear on your commitments and core values, and give you access to all those spiritual energies that you need to take consistent, powerful action. And we'll work on all the obstacles and resistance that is keeping you from reaching the next level in your real estate success.
And when you work with me, we're going to build your custom process together. I'm going to make sure that your business is built around the things that fit with your talents, skills, passions, and your life. We're going to work on your 4 pillars, and together we'll be able to tweak and evolve, then work to perfect every aspect of your approach. This isn't for everybody, but it is for those of you that are serious enough about real estate that it's worth taking the time to build it into something you can enjoy and be successful for years and years.
Okay, so I'm seeing some questions about our coaching process. And again, if you have questions, we're going to spend some real time with you individually on our meeting. But we can talk through the basics real quick.
So what I want you to realize is this is not a canned coaching program. It's a customized individual coaching program built on your strengths. So for those of you that join us, you will be working directly with Chris and I, not with a trainee.
Okay, so the other thing I'd say is that we spent a lot of time working to perfect this process. And what we found is that to get the maximum impact, it really requires 3 things. 1, you need some individual time with Kristy customizing your system. And you need some individual time with me learning to build and execute that process. 2, you need some specific training. There are a lot of details and concepts that you need to be able to master if you're going to do this right. So some of the time would be spent in one-on-one customized coaching, but some of the time would be spent developing your knowledge base and skill set, and we do that together. And 3, you need the support of a team. So we create a high-performance group of up to 6 people. That's your support squad, your teammates, your family. And as much as you'll get from us, there's something about those peer-to-peer conversations that can make a huge difference. So we want to make sure to incorporate all 3 of these keys in our coaching process.
If we leave you with one thing, it's that making any change that has a significant impact on your life takes a strong commitment. If you're super hungry for that next level or hungry to finally make your real estate business work for you and give you the time, money, and lifestyle you want, really commit. Be relentless and don't stop. Become ridiculously obsessed. You deserve it, your family deserves it, and your life deserves it. Don't take any chances. Sign up for your complimentary meeting with Chris and myself.
We look forward to meeting and talking with you.